When you get divorced and you make a settlement, is the idea that it is then final?
That's the idea. On the capital side, it's final. Of course, if you've got maintenance, ongoing periodical payments, money from your other side, you can always go back to vary that. That's never final.
OK, so maintenance isn't final, but
the lump sums,
case...
and in those cases, they were final. And they said, look, my husband's lied. In both of those cases, we ought to be able to reopen it because there's been fraud or misrepresentation. And the Court of Appeal in both those cases said no, because it wouldn't really have made a difference. So what this case is about, and the Supreme Court are going to give their decision today, is can you lie in cases and basically get away with it? And the court is going to lay down boundaries of when you can or can't reopen a case for lying. Lying is not permitted, but in these cases, the husbands seem to get away with it. So we need clarification as lawyers. Well, people aren't supposed to lie. How come they've lied and the wives weren't permitted to reopen? So that's what this case is about.
Why doesn't that come under contempt of court? As
It's
if you lied
perjury.
anyway?
It's perjury,
yeah.
so it's a criminal offence, and of course they can be prosecuted.
Right.
But what these wives are saying is that there was all sorts of reasons why the Court of Appeal found that they couldn't reopen and look at it again and change the settlement. So there's a big argument going on, and the Supreme Court have got to give directions today. Basically, should there be finality in these cases, or should it be the truth overriding that, whatever happens? And the courts have been grappling with this for such a long time.
What happens if you've made a deal on the basis of, and classically it's the husband's assets, and then it emerges later that there wasn't any lying or non-disclosure going on, those assets just are worth more than you thought at the time? For instance, if shares go up or the value.
That's just tough, because the answer is shares can always go up, values of property and assets can always go up.
They can also go down, to
They
be fair,
can always
though,
go
can't they?
down.
Yeah.
So there has to be finality. So that is something
So
that is normal.
won't be affected.
That will not be affected.
This will just be if you can prove that your ex lied over what they had.
And it would have made a material difference. But the problem is that the courts are so stuck in not wanting to reopen settlements for political reasons that a lot of people are finding it's almost impossible to reopen these cases. So what these two women are saying is, this is not right. We've done our time, we were deserving, and how can the courts make decisions when they haven't got all the facts? So that's what we're looking at today. But it's fascinating. How do you gather all the facts? How do you find out whether your partner is lying or not? And the court seems to be saying you should make every investigation, but a word of caution. Don't think, as a husband or wife, that you automatically can go snooping around in your husband's suitcase or your wife's a briefcase, or that you can break into their phones or emails. It is unlawful to do that, even if you're married to them.